Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Messy Monday, and I'm combining that today with 31 days of cut files. We are in our final full week of cut files, and it is a layered up type of a cut file. We call them stack 'em up, or stack it up, and this one is a park scene. So I have a blue watercolor here from Ecoline, and watercolor was the product of the month that we chose to focus on for Messy Monday. So if you've missed any of that, you can go back and check out the Messy Monday playlist that I will put up at the very end of the video, and you can see all of the videos that I've done this month for Messy Monday. And I've tried to use watercolor here and there throughout the month, even when it is not Monday, so hopefully you get lots of inspiration. So this one happens to be a liquid watercolor in a blue shade of blue, and I am just using the packaging technique, or in this case my acrylic block, to apply it. I just want to give a messy blue background to it because I want it to kind of feel like a blue sky at a park. Doing a little bit of splatter. It is a wet paper, so my splatter is going to wick in and just be very splotchy. It's not going to stay very splattery, and that's okay. That's kind of what I am going for. A lot of this is going to be covered up, so it's not a big deal. And right there, I am just spraying the white corners. When you just get the center of the paper wet, it is more likely to warp, but if you kind of spray down around the edges as well and the whole thing is wet, it tends to dry a lot flatter. Because all of the fibers have been moistened, and they kind of dry at a more even rate rather than having just the center of your paper wet and those fibers expand, and then the other fibers all kind of like stay nice and tight together. That's what kind of causes that warping, at least in my thought process. I don't know if that's really true or not, but you know, try it and see. Try it and see. So I have two pictures of my dog Coda actually she's in our backyard, but it kind of looks like a park. All you see is green. Well, it's not exactly grass, I don't know. But it's greenery that she's laying on. We don't have a ton of grass in our backyard at this point because, you know, we have a dog that likes to dig and make a big mess. But the areas that are kind of grassy, that is what she's laying on. She was playing fetch with me. She's actually excellent at running and getting the ball. She's not so great at giving it back. So that's always kind of a fun feat, is to get the ball back from her. So I am kind of going with a sunburst design here, and I have used this Heidi Swap stencil to mark out some yellow on my yellow papers that were just out of my scrap bin. So you're seeing here exactly what I did. I just traced them out. I am cutting it up. I'm taking it over to my sewing machine. I'm using some orange thread to create some stitches down the edges of it. And then I'm going to bring it back over and rough up all of the edges. And then I am going to tuck in all of the thread that are at the center points. And I am going to tuck in the bobbin thread, or the back thread, for the pieces that are at the outer edge of each one of these little sunbursts. But I'm going to leave a little bit of the orange thread, which is the top thread, hanging out at the outer edge. So it kind of has a messy vibe going on. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't have footage of the embellishment portion of the layout. So I have slowed down the still shots so you can see the embellishing that I did. It's not anything that is very difficult to do, so nothing complex or anything like that. But I slowed it down so that you can see it at the end of the video. You get to see me put together the majority of it. It's just the embellishing portion from the ephemera pack that I'm going to use today. And I'm using ephemera from Cocoa Vanilla, and it's their masculine collections. It's kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of their collections that I have stuck in all in one package at this point, because I didn't have a lot of any single one of them still left over, so I just put them all together. And a lot of their collections, the colors are repetitive for the masculine stuff, like the oranges are very similar and the blues are very similar, so they all go well together. So you'll see those in the still shots, but you're not going to see me add them to the layout because, again, I don't have that. And my cut file is already inked up, and that is because I'm using the cut file that was shared on the video for the release of the cut files so that people could see how to stack them up. So the first layer, the trees don't have a lot of green on them. They just have brown trunks and green at the bottom where the grass would be. The next layer has the greenery that goes on the top of the trees, and then there are some tufts of grass. There's a bench. The bench actually had 2 layers, one so you could do the foundation of the bench, the other so you could do the boards across the horizontal boards across the slats of the bench, and you could make them different colors than the actual base of the bench. So as I build it here, you're going to see that. You're not going to see the pieces of the bench because that one was already put together on camera when we released the whole collection of cut files so that people could see what this was all about. Okay, so I've got the 2 photos. I'm kind of figuring out where they are. I do realize that I kind of want my trees to be a little bit taller, at least the 2 outer trees. And so I am going to stretch those by cutting the trunk and just making them like an inch, maybe even a ½ inch taller than they are. I did, as you can see here, pop my trees, the greenery portion of the trees, up onto some foam tape. I didn't go super thick with this. It's pretty thin foam tape. And that is just to give a little bit of extra dimension to this. I'm also going to use the title that you see in the upper left hand corner that says Go Wild. That's from Bramble Fox, and it's been in my stash for quite some time, so I don't know if it's still available or not, but I thought it was perfect for this dog layout, and because I'm using the browns in the tree and the yellows up top, it goes really well. It's kind of an interesting color. It's not really brown and it's not really yellow, so maybe a little mustardy color, or maybe tan, I don't know. So I'm going to use that, and it's going to go really well with it, and I'm liking how that's looking. And you can see here how I stretched my trees. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing things down. I did not stretch that middle one. I think that's okay. And I am going to kind of tuck my photo underneath a couple of the branches there, and is of that the little center one. And I do end up ripping one of the layers. Now you can see that there is a piece of that middle one that doesn't have its greenery on it. Conveniently, my photo is covering that greenery because I cannot find it on my desk at this point. This is not the first time I've lost a piece of the cut file in the process of creating, because my desk is kind of a disaster at the moment. You guys don't get to see all of the desk, but the right hand side, I keep piling stuff up over there, and as I pull out the cut file to show it on camera and I start pulling out some papers that I think I'm going to use, I inadvertently, maybe it got stuck to the back of one of the papers that I was looking through. So I don't know exactly what's going on here with me, but I've been losing stuff left and right, it seems like. And I don't typically pre-plan all of my layout. I might plan as far as what background paper and have a bit of an idea of what direction I'm going in, or if I have a specific piece of ephemera or wood veneer or acrylic that I want to use, I might pull those out. But for the most part, I don't, at this point right here in the layout, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I got this far and I thought, let me go look in my embellishments and see what I have that I can add to this to finish it off, because you know, this would be a great place to stop and just add the title somewhere and maybe a little journaling spot. But I want to go further. There's no reason why you couldn't have stopped there, but I went and I pulled out all of the, not all of, but some of the ephemera from that Cocoa Vanilla collection, and I've added these banners that say fun and snapshot. You can see I've got the squirrel in there that came with the cut file. I've added some little white wordy stickers. I've also added this piece that says stay weird, stay wild. And then just some pieces up at the top to bring that blue up to the top that I have that in the bottom. So I'm going to show you the layout one more time at the end here after I quit showing you all of the close-ups. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize that I didn't have the run through of adding all of the ephemera. But I hope you still enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope that you would give it a thumbs up. I will be back again tomorrow with a video, so come back and check that out. Oh look, I added also a piece of wood veneer from MK's shop, a little dog bone, just to give a nod to this being a dog layout. I think it came out super cute. Again, hit that thumbs up if you don't mind, and I'll see you again tomorrow with another one. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.